We picture a battleship dying at sea. Guns, spray, 2 fleets closing at the horizon. HMS Royal Oak does not die that way. She dies at anchor, in her own harbor, her crew asleep in their hammocks, brought down by a boat that has no business being within 100 miles of her. Late on the 13th of October, 1939, a German U-boat runs surfaced through the Royal Navy's home anchorage, the Aurora threatening to light her up. How did she get inside at all? Start with the boat, because everything that follows depends on her. U-47 was a Type 6 IIB, a medium ocean-going U-boat, and her commander was Captain Lieutenant Gunther Prien. Prien was not chosen for this by accident. He was ambitious, precise, and he wanted the kind of target that made careers. And someone had already found him. One. The Seekriegsleitung, the German naval war staff, had studied Scapa Flow and reached a conclusion the Royal Navy would not have enjoyed reading. The great home anchorage was penetrable, not everywhere. In 2 of its 6 entrances, the blockade was primitive. The guard was weak. That is the gap in the blockade. That is the whole operation. A capital ship anchorage is only as strong as its softest door, and Scapa Flow had left 2 of them barely shut. Prien had a choice of ways in. He passed over Scary Sound and settled on Kirk Sound, a narrow channel the British had tried to close with blockships. Old hulls scuttled across the water to bar exactly this kind of visitor. The blockships were there. They were not, as it turned out, enough. Then Prien did the thing that separates a plan from a gamble. He memorized the chart. Every bearing, every hazard, the position of each sunken hull, committed to memory so completely that during the run itself, he would never once have to look down. He would steer a channel he had never seen by a picture in his head. Choosing Kirk Sound was one thing. Finding it, in the dark, on the surface, was going to be another. Picture the boat now, on the surface, at night in water shallow enough to strand her, threading a gap the Royal Navy assumed no one would try. U-47 ran the entrances awash, her deck barely above the swell. And overhead, the Aurora kept flickering, green lights spilling across the sky, threatening to throw her black hull into silhouette against pale water. There was no chart to consult. Prien was navigating from memory and dead reckoning, reading a coastline he had studied but never sailed. And he got it wrong. In the dark, with the channels running close together, Prien steered U-47 into Scary Sound. The wrong sound, not the passage he wanted. A dead end of shoal and current that would have grounded the boat and ended the raid before it began. He caught it, hard rudder over, and the boat came around, hauling back toward the entrance he actually needed. Kirk Sound, off to the north. This is the seamanship I want you to sit with. A surfaced submarine, correcting course by hand, in a channel where 100 yards of error is fatal. And the water was fighting him. The tide through these sounds runs fast enough to drag a boat sideways before her helm can answer. Prien wasn't just steering. He was steering against a current that wanted to set U-47 onto the rocks, in the dark, with the sky still trying to give her away. He held the boat straight and lined her up on Kirk Sound, and ahead, in the low light, the shapes resolved. The blockships, the sunken holes the Navy had scuttled across the channel to seal it. The last physical barrier between U-47 and the anchorage. He was aimed at the right sound now. He still had to get past the blockships. Prien picks the gap and holds it. On either side of him sit the blockships. Old hulls the Royal Navy sank on purpose to close this channel. They did not finish the job. There is a space between them, narrow, unlit, and U-47 is pointed straight at it on the surface. This is the moment everything before it was building toward. The channel the British trusted, the barrier they believed was sealed. Prien is about to drive a submarine through it in the dark, with the tide doing half the steering for him. The margin is measured in feet. A surfaced boat has no room to dive, no room to correct, and blockship hulls to port and starboard close enough to scrape. He threads it, slowly, deliberately, past the last of them, and then there is nothing ahead but open water. The German war diary records the cry in 3 exclamation points. Wir sind in Scapa Flow. Understated men do not write like that. Whoever put those marks on the page understood exactly what had just happened, and wanted the paper to feel it too. Here is what it meant. U-47 was now inside the Royal Navy's home anchorage, on the surface, at night, with the barrier behind her instead of in front. The gap in the blockade was not a theory anymore. One boat had proven the impenetrable base was porous, and she had done it without firing a shot. Prien had solved the hard problem, getting in. Everything the planners had worried over, the entrances, the blockships, the wrong channel he had strayed into and hauled back from, all of it was now his wake. Ahead lay the reason he had come this far. Somewhere in that dark water, a capital ship sat at her moorings, and she had no idea he was there. He would not have long. A surfaced boat inside a defended anchorage is a target the moment anyone looks the right way, but no one was looking. So Prien turned U-47 into the flat black water and went hunting. The first torpedo struck at 12:58 in the morning. Its target was HMS Royal Oak, a Revenge-class battleship at anchor, her crew asleep in their bunks. A dull thump ran through the bow, and it barely woke them. Someone decided a paint locker had exploded. An internal accident, nothing more. Damage control checked, found little, and the men went back to sleep. That is the detail I keep returning to. They were told nothing was wrong, and most of them believed it. 18 minutes later, U-47 fired again. 3 torpedoes this time, and they did not leave room for interpretation. Royal Oak listed hard to starboard. She rolled, and she kept rolling. 4 minutes. That is roughly how long it took a capital ship to capsize at her own moorings. The hatches were open below decks, thrown wide for the night, and the water took the passageways before the men in them understood what a paint locker explosion had actually been. Of a crew over 1,200, around 834 did not come out. 100 of them were boy seamen, under 18 years old, asleep when the second salvo hit. Prien did not linger. U-47 came about and withdrew the way she had come, back through Kirk Sound, past the blockships, out the gap he had threaded in the dark. The same navigation that got him in, got him out. By dawn, he was at sea. With that single run bought U-47 and her commander as the next chapter. Here is the record, and it is not close. U-47 was the only U-boat to penetrate Scapa Flow and sink a Royal Navy capital ship at her moorings. HMS Royal Oak went down. No one else came near it. The credit does not belong to the torpedoes. It belongs to the navigation. Threading a surfaced boat into the wrong channel, hauling her back under the Aurora, then clearing the incomplete blockships in Kirk Sound, that was the cleanest single piece of submarine seamanship the war produced. The kill took 4 minutes. The seamanship took the whole night. Gunther Prien became the bull of Scapa Flow, decorated personally by Hitler. In March 1941, he vanished with U-47. The cause was never established. Whatever the propaganda made of him, the work done that night became the standard the U-boat Waffe was measured against. That is the story of the bull of Scapa Flow. One battleship on the bottom in 4 minutes. That's the story. If it held you, hit like, subscribe, and share it. See you in the next one on Ask Sable.